there, it's Dr. Jenny Tafankian with a reminder to love with you today here to talk about detoxification. So your body is actually always detoxifying, whether you've chosen to do our doTERRA cleanse or if you're doing some other sort of cleanse. Our body is always, every single day detoxing. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is a little bit about that process, some signs and symptoms that might be coming up and you're wondering, is this detox or am I getting sick or is it something else? And what you can do to support your body in its process of eliminating all the toxic stuff we have in the world. So, and I'm going to be doing a number of Facebook Lives over the next few weeks on this topic, and Dr. Louise Rose will be doing a talk tomorrow on skin. I think actually later on today, she's going to go live with us and talk to us about detoxification. So please let me know you're out there, and if you have any questions, I love to hear from you. So just post your questions now, or you can on the Facebook page, and I'll come back later on today and over the next week and answer them as I'm able. So thanks again for joining me. And the body wants to always protect you. So its role is to protect. And we live in an extremely toxic world. We always have different kinds of toxins coming into us. Just even the body's normal function creates toxicity. Just the normal process of building cells and breaking things down, of eating your foods, all that type of thing creates toxicity in the body, and the body has ways to get rid of that. We get higher levels of toxicity, of course, through all the pollution, makeup that we use, foods that we eat, if we smoke cigarettes, if we drink alcohol. All those things really up our level of toxicity. You can wonder if you're a good candidate for detoxification looking at that list and seeing how many toxic things come into your life. I would actually argue that everybody in this culture, in this day and time, needs some form of support for detoxification on a daily basis. And that's a lot of what I'm talking to you about, is what you can do on a daily basis to support your, what we call organs of elimination. So let me talk about those. So the body has these organs of elimination, and we call them emunctories. It's sort of a mouthful, but they're called emunctories. And they are your skin, your liver, your gut, your kidneys, and your digestive system. And those are the organs of elimination. We like to support those every single day by doing things that we call something called basic treatment guidelines. I'm going to briefly go over these today, and then we're going to do deeper dives into the basic treatment guidelines over the next few weeks. But basic treatment guidelines are involving some sort of daily process and rituals where you're supporting your emunctories to eliminate. And they're actually some of the doTERRA products that you may be taking or that you could be taking that will actually support that process as well. So to support your skin, which is also your lymphatic system, doing daily skin brushing is great. And I'm not going to go into this because I know Dr. Louise Rose is going to do a great job with this later on today. But it's just taking a natural exfoliation mitt or dry skin brush and just do gentle brushing towards your heart, and that really moves your lymphatic system, and it also exfoliates your skin and gets your skin clean. There's an essential oil, interestingly, is really great for lymphatic, which is frankincense, which I find interesting, that frankincense is really supportive for the lymphatic system along with so many other things for detoxification. Your gastrointestinal system, your gut, of course, is a form of elimination. You want to keep that functioning well. So having a healthy diet really helps eliminate your, keep your gut well and helps you eliminate everything. So having a healthy diet. So, one of the things that can happen for some of you that are on the cleanse is you may have changed your diet, and you may be having some gastrointestinal problems, and you may be wondering, gosh, is this because of I'm detoxing or because I've changed my diet, or what that is? So some of the guidelines to think about are usually if you're radically changing your diet, say that you didn't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and all of a sudden you put that in, or you're adding a fiber supplement and you're getting symptoms of gas and bloating and that kind of thing, that can really be from having more fiber than your gastrointestinal system is used to. And that's normal to have some gas and bloating during that time. If it continues beyond the first couple days, then that may be something else that's happening. You might want to consult with your physician to talk about what else might be going on there. But usually if it's just a dietary change, it takes a few days for the microbiome to shift over to a different bacterial load to help break those things down, and that's usually just the first few days. The other organ of elimination is your liver, and your liver does so many important processes in the body, And supporting this on a daily basis is great. The Lifelong Vitality Pack is fantastic for that. That's why we have that as part of the cleanse. And it's also just a great daily thing, a daily product to be taking. It has all the nutrients you need to support your liver and detoxification, and also has herbs and essential oils in there that help that liver to detoxify. And then you also have your lungs are another organ of elimination. Maybe I didn't say that before, but your lungs are an organ of elimination. So just doing deep breathing exercises every day really helps detoxify your body on a daily basis. If you're like me, and when you start getting tense, you start to hold your breath a little bit, it's actually really bad for us. So consciously taking deep breaths throughout the day. You can set a timer on your phone, and just every 50 minutes, just set that and take 5 or 10 deep breaths. That's really going to help your body eliminate toxicity on a daily basis, which is fantastic. You can also, of course, use your oils that are supportive for your lungs for this. So your breathe oil would be really helpful in this process, as well as it helps open up the capillaries in the lung and helps get oxygen in and helps release the CO2. Any kind of toxin that you breathe in is also released through the lungs. So if you're around some gases or some toxic fumes or something, and those that go in through your lung, or if you've had surgery and they've had you inhale some of the anesthetic, a great way to get rid of this is the same way it came in. So that's to do some really deep breathing. So to get into some fresh air and just do some really conscious deep in and out breathing to release the toxicity from your lungs. Again, super beneficial little tip to have on a daily basis in this world that we live in. Some of the signs that you might be detoxing can be confusing, and sometimes people wonder, am I detoxing or am I sick? So signs of detox have been listed as such as fatigue, gastro bloating, and being extra tired. Having a headache is I think probably the #1 symptom people talk about is getting a headache. You might get people talk about rashes as being a sign of detoxification. So I want to talk about these so we can decide if these are actually detox symptoms for you or not. So one of the big questions that people will say, well, let me just say about headaches. So a headache can be a sign of lots of different things. If you've just quit coffee, you are going to get a headache, or caffeine. You're going to get a headache because actually the caffeine thins out your blood, and so your blood vessels shrink down to be able to handle that thinner blood. If you cut yourself off caffeine, you get a caffeine headache because your vascular system is actually normalizing back to its normal level. I know it's kind of weird to think about that's what caffeine does to you. It's just, and that's what your caffeine headache is. So if you have quit caffeine and you're on the detox and you have a headache, drink a lot more water. I recommend using frankincense on the temples and the top of your head, back of your neck. That's going to be really helpful. Peppermint might also be really great too for a headache. So drink a lot of water, because that's going to help with the blood vessels too, and release any toxicity that you might be having. The other reason that you can get headaches is if you're just dehydrated. So drink a lot of water, half of your body weight in ounces per day. And then sometimes you do get headaches from a true detox reaction. So our bodies, when our bodies will take toxic substances from the environment and from our normal metabolism, and they'll stick it away into joints and into into fat and into organs to protect you. So they'll choose the least vital organs first. They want to try to protect the brain best as it can, and tries to not put toxins in the brain, although that does happen. And they get sequestered away into those. And so when you start detoxifying, if you're intentionally moving your body to release toxicity and you're lowering your toxic load, what happens is that those toxic things start coming out of the joints and getting released. And they start circulating through your body, and your body has to begin to break those things down again. If the system is all backed up, if your liver's not functioning well, if you're not eliminating your stool, if your pores are all clogged up, it doesn't have a place to go, and it keeps recirculating, and that can give you symptoms of a detoxification reaction, like headaches and the fatigue and those things that we're talking about. So again, keeping those organs of elimination open are great, and then drinking a lot of water can be really helpful as well. The other thing that can cause the headaches is not enough food. So if you're doing a detox diet and you're not eating enough, you may be having low blood sugar. It's actually, there are lots of different ways about detoxing, and sometimes you do want to have a limited calorie type of detox, but I would really do that under support of a physician, because that's driving the body in a slightly different direction than what we're doing with the detox that we're doing here with doTERRA, where we're having people stay really and eating lots of nutrient dense foods, so the body has all of the substrates it needs to actually do the detoxification. There are, I talk about the liver being backed up, and that's really common. A lot of us have liver congestion, and the liver has something called phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways. You want to keep both of those supported. A lot of times people have congestion and they have maybe a strong detox 1, but their detox 2 pathway doesn't work, which means that the body halfway detoxifies a substance and unfortunately makes it more toxic in that process if it doesn't get to the phase 2. Now, the gift of the essential oils is that you can add a lemon or wild orange or lime or grapefruit into some water, and it really helps move the body from that phase 1 to that phase 2 pathway. Another great way to stimulate the phase 2 pathway in your liver is to diffuse lemongrass. It has, I think it's called a carcol in it. It's a type of a molecule in the lemongrass that really helps push that detox pathway. And again, your LLV pack again will really support that. The other great things that I love to use for liver support on a daily basis are the Zendocrine products from doTERRA, and I'm also confused because they have 3 different products called Zendocrine. They're all the same name, and I'm in a clinic and it just drives my receptionist crazy. It's like, what is Zendocrine product? So I just figured it out today. If you introduce it as the family, it's a Zendocrine family. See here, meet the Zendocrine family. We have like these. This is the Zendocrine family, okay? So you have Mama Zendocrine Detox Capsules. These actually don't have essential oils in them. They're herbs, and they're really, really gentle, but super supportive for detox. So I actually take these a couple times throughout the day right now because I'm working on some things. And that really helps your body detoxify, really helps the phase 1, phase 2 pathway. And then we have the Zendocrine capsules, which is sort of like that, it's the driver. Maybe this is like the papa or that son that's just out there doing stuff all the time. It's just going, going, going. This is going to push you a bit more. So these are essential oils, and they push the liver a little bit harder and kind of pull stuff out of the tissue. So I would use those later on once you've opened up your emunctories and you've got things going a little more. That's when I would use the Zendocrine caps to start pushing things a little bit harder. And then there's the Zendocrine oil, which is the same that's in the caps. And I love the smell of this. It has geranium in it, which is really great for the heart as well. And the Zendocrine oil is wonderful to put right on top of your liver, which is just on the right-hand side below your rib cage, or to put on the back over your kidneys, and it's really wonderful to support detoxification. And I just love these little Zendocrine products to really help with the detoxification. The thing to remember with detoxification is that, again, it is really about incorporating into your lifestyle. And for those of you that are doing the detox with us right now, if you're having symptoms that you're wondering if, there was somebody that posted wondering if they're getting sick or not. One of the ways that, well, let's back up and say that we can detox on a physical level, mental, emotional, or spiritual level. And we can get congestion in all of those levels, and we also detoxify on all those levels. And sometimes you can become physically sick because you need to process things on an emotional or spiritual level, and that's the body's way of taking a pause to have time to slow down and process all of that. Sometimes you are on a and so sometimes when people get sick, they're actually, that illness is actually a form of detoxification, because it's a time to let the body just rest. You get a fever, you release a lot of toxicity, and it allows time for the body to reset emotionally and spiritually. This happened to me years ago. I got a flu that lasted 2 months long. It was insane. I was so sick. I had a fever of 103.5, and I was just dealing with so many different things. But when I came out of that, I had never been more healthy. And for years after that, I was just beyond healthy. It burned through so much stuff in my body, and it really burned through on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level as well. When I have patients come in and they're trying to help figure out, are they sick or are they detoxing? one of the things that I always ask is, how does it feel? And this is tricky because it's super subtle. So I'm going to try to explain it to you now. So you may have symptoms of feeling achy and tired and head congestion and foggy brain. Those can be detox symptoms, but they can also be symptoms that you're getting sick, right? So if there's a detox type of thing, usually on some level it feels good. On some level, you know it's right and it feels okay, even though your body's having this reaction. It's truly releasing something. I went to a personal growth workshop years ago with my parents with the actual intention of clearing out some of our family lineage type of stuff. And I sat down and I said, I'm just going to burn right through this. That was my intention for this workshop. It was a number of weekends. The last day of the last weekend, I sat in the workshop and lo and behold, I got a fever. And I had a fever and I had diarrhea for 4 days after that. But I felt great. It's hard to explain if you haven't experienced it, but it was such a clear release of toxicity. My brain was clear, my body felt well, I just stayed home and I had a fever and I had diarrhea and it was just releasing all of this stuff. And truly it shifted our family into a different place by being able to do this deep healing work in this way. If you're having that kind of an experience, some of the really beautiful oils to use would be frankincense. Frankincense really helps realign, and as Desiree Manadog likes to say, it's like it heals all the cracks. So if you're releasing things on that level, putting frankincense in is really wonderful. Sandalwood and myrrh are also really great to help on a spiritual level, as is lavender. Lavender is so calming and soothing. So sometimes when people are sick from a virus, you want to make sure that you're using some oils that would be supportive on this emotional level in case that's what they're doing. Another thing that people can get confused is if they're detoxing or if they are actually just doing a withdrawal from food. So if, again, you've radically changed your diet, the first couple days you might be getting headaches and stomach aches and things like that, and that's more about a food withdrawal. And certainly cravings are usually to do more with a food withdrawal rather than actually detox type of symptom. So those usually pass within the first couple of days. So if you've been eating a lot of sugar, then your body's used to having that high level of stimulation, and you take that out and your neurotransmitter's like, what's going on? I'm really missing this stuff. After a couple of days, it begins to, actually takes 10 days, it begins to rebalance. So don't worry if your sugar cravings don't go away for 10 days. It can take that long. And so it can begin to help. So make sure that you are drinking water and pay attention to Dr. Louise Rose's skin brushing thing that she's going to be doing later on today. Next time, I'm going to talk about the gallbladder, which is this little tiny organ that hangs out on top of your liver and is really essential for your body's health. And I'm going to be talking to you about how that works. And I'll be going through more of the emunctories and how you can work to eliminate them and detoxify them. But for right now, please let me know if you have any questions and post them on our Facebook page. And I can't wait to see you. Thank you so much. This is a Reminder to Love with Dr. Jenny Tafankian.